Good morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia, and I am going live on this Wednesday morning with my newest card class to go. So if you've been on any of my social media, you've seen that this week I am featuring the Celebrate with Tags bundle. So I'm going to just flip over to my desktop for you so that you guys can see that. And I'll tell you a bit more about this awesome bundle. So it's a stamp set, Celebrate with Tags. And we've actually just been told, and it's going to go public, and the sale will start tomorrow on December 1st. We've been told that the Celebrate with Tags stamp set is going to carry over into next year's offerings. Good morning. Oh, Prince George. Awesome. So Celebrate with Tags is going to carry over into next year's offerings and everything, but our Celebrate with Tags dies are not. Hi, Lynn. So these dies are amazing. I love them. And starting tomorrow, December 1st, they're actually going to be on sale 40% off. Which makes this class really, really timely, because it means that my card class, I always send out the make and take bits with a $50 order. So with your 40% off your dies and then purchasing your stamp set, you're going to be right in there to get this card class for free from me using the link that was in the description of this video. So it's super duper exciting that these are going on sale. I'll also have posted for you the full last chance list. And so it's all of our items that are going to be retiring as of January 3rd, I believe it is, and all the sale prices. And I will warn you, things will go fast. So that being said, letting you know that that's going on, and these are on sale starting tomorrow. So if you are placing an order with me and grabbing these, you want to wait till tomorrow. Let's get started crafting. I'm really, really happy with this week's cards. They're a little bit different than some of the stuff I've normally done. There's a lot more kind of subtle details to them. So this one, I'll bring it up so you guys can really see it. And this is our first card today. And so there's just some subtle things going on with blender brushing and background patterns and stuff. But this uses all of the, like the only stamps on here and dies are from this bundle. So here we go. I'm going to grab my little packet here. So anytime you do this, you're going to get, with my Make and Takes, you're going to get everything you need to make 2 of each card. Hi, Eva. All packaged up, and then the extra envelope that you'll need for that. Now, I am getting a little bit smarter with these as I go. I've actually prepped up one, so I don't have to go through and take half the bits out and put them back later. All right. So we've got all of the stuff we need for today's video to make 1. Your packet would contain enough stuff to make 2 of each. So we're going to start with a Blushing Bride card base. And I'm just going to use my bone folder to really crease that edge. My nails are getting so brittle in this dry weather. I'm really trying to protect them. All right, so the first thing to do on this card is we're going to go in and grab the, I don't even know what it is. It's like just these cute little lines. You could even, I guess, use them like as raindrops under a little rain cloud or something. So we're going to grab those and our Blushing Bride ink. And we're going to stamp these just like it's kind of random. And you can even, stamp it and then flip this around so it's going the other direction. And it doesn't have to fill in all the space. It can just really be wherever. And I'm not even bothering doing the center of this because we're going to have this panel covering up the center entirely. So it doesn't even matter. And if some of yours aren't completely straight, that's okay too, because like I said, enough of this is going to get covered up that it's not even really going to be relevant. There we go. Just do a couple more right there just in case. All right, I think we've got that covered. All right, so that is our card front completely done up. Now, you have a few choices. You could use these on your envelopes, or you could use the hearts. I'm going to use the hearts because I like the hearts. So I'm going to set that off to the side for a moment. And I'm going to grab my smaller piece of basic white cardstock and the hearts from this stamp set. And this is where I'm actually going to grab a scrap paper too, so I don't make my background super messy for the rest of the video. I know the paper's here to stamp on and be that protection, but I don't want you guys having to stamp hearts for the rest of the cards. So I've got a scrap piece of paper here. So I'm going to stamp off and then stamp on here. So this is what we call second generation inking on our piece of basic white cardstock. Oops, I almost didn't do it. Okay. And so again, it's just completely random. And I have an extra little empty spot there. That's not going to matter because we're going to put things on here. Now, before I put these away, I am going to grab the piece of basic white that goes inside my card. And I'm going to do the same thing, but just down along the edge a little bit. Okay, so just a tiny little heart border. And I'm also going to grab my envelope. Now, I'll show you guys a little trick here. Is you can fold your scrap paper so that just your envelope flap is showing, and then you've got something protecting the envelope itself and your background. Oops, and let's turn this the right way because I don't want sideways hearts. And then we're going to come in here and put hearts all over. Oops, I left a big gap. There we go. Yeah. And let's see. Oh, a little crowded, but looks better than having a big gap. All right. So there we have all of our hearts stamped. So we stamped hearts on all 3 layers using second generation Blushing Bride. And the next thing we're going to do is grab a blending brush. Now I keep one specifically for lighter pinks. I don't want to mix this up with like the one I would use Melon Mambo or something with, because that would be really wildly bright. And I am just going to do a quick run down the edge here and just give a slight blending brush to the edge of that piece that's going inside our card. I am also going to do the same thing to our envelope, but just at the flap. So it's going to blend up into white. There we go. So it's just that little bit of color down at the bottom. Bonjour, Martine. It is definitely a card full of love. I kind of done with Christmas. Behind me at the beginning of the video, you could see my desk was covered in Christmas cards. I am finishing up writing in all of my Christmas cards. But in terms of creating Christmas cards, I'm definitely ready to move on. So we're going to look forward to the coming months and start to get ready for January and February and just, yeah, all the goodness that comes with the holidays and beyond. All right, so got a little bit of blending brush on here as well because that's going to be like a nice background for our heart. So just give it a little subtle Blushing Bride in the background. So we just have one more bit of stamping to do. And so I often do, well, actually I always do like all your die cut bits in these card packets. But for this one, you're either going to want to have your own stamp sets, or you're going to want to fussy cut this, because to die cut this little label and then stamp the XOXO on here, like, I don't know. I consider myself to be a pretty good stamper, and I find that a nearly impossible task. So I've got some Sweet Sorbet ink and my XOXO. And what I love about this one is you get that awesome look of embossing without embossing, because this guy stamps the background, not the words. Love him. So it's like that awesome look of embossing with no work at all. So with that little guy done, in our dies, we actually have the banner die that's going to cut that out. But like I said, it's so small and finicky. I would not want to die cut it first and then stamp it. That's just a recipe for frustration. So here we go. I am going to, now I guess you could use your oh, what's that thing called? Oh my goodness, I can't believe I can't remember what it's called. Oh, my Stamparatus, that's what it's called. I guess you could use your Stamparatus and do it that way, but I'm a little too lazy for that. I should actually rename myself instead of Stampin' with Leah to the Lazy Stamper, because I seriously, like, if it takes any effort, I have no desire. Oh, I know. I want to have time to enjoy the moments and enjoy the events this holiday. So I'm just kind of like, get everything ready early, and December is going to be for relaxing and enjoying family. You know, especially I notice, like, as my kids are getting older, I'm like, oh yeah, they still want to be around a little bit. Let's take advantage of this. All right, so there we have our little XOXO banner. And now we're going to just put this card together. It's going to be a lot of liquid glue, unless, you know, you do you and use your preferred adhesives. But for me, it's a lot of liquid glue. So I like to get that little dot on the end, and then you just drag that dot along, which gives you like the thinnest, doesn't splooch out the sides kind of layer of adhesive there. And it also gives you the ability to wiggle things so that you can get them lined up nicely. There we go. So there's the inside of our card, all pretty. Oh, crazy little focusing there. All right, and then I'm going to take our heart layer and attach it to our basic gray layer using liquid glue again. And then this layer, once we have it put together, we're going to attach it to the card front with, you guessed it, liquid glue again. Okay, so there we have that one. And then this one, here we go. All right. So that is like that. Wonderful. Oh, thank you, Martine. Yeah, I'm not a huge Valentine's fan, but, you know, I do like to do something special for the kids and for Noah. So I always like to have a few on hand. Plus, I always have friends who pop over and they're like, do you have something for me to give to my wife? Yeah, here you go. So now our heart, we're going to pop on here with dimensionals. And I am going to let it hang off of that background. There we go. And then our little XOXO, we're going to actually, you can either cut up the trim. Actually, that's what I might do because I'm trying to use these up. Cut up the trim of your dimensionals because it's a little bit thinner, or you could use mini dimensionals. And then, oh good, I did that on the right end. So you want to put that on the end that has the X on it. And then the end that finishes off with the O's, we're going to put a mini glue dot on that end, because I don't need to pop it up again. It's going to be on top of that heart that's already popped up. And oh my goodness. And then this overlaps onto our heart and through that empty spot that I left by accident. So it's perfect. Okay. Now, the final touch on this is actually your gift with a $70 purchase from me, is the Iridescent Pearls. And I just absolutely love these. And so we're just going to throw a few of these on. Oh, come on. And, oh, there we go. So just like that, throw a few of those iridescent pearls onto our card, and voila, we are ready. Great wedding card, Valentine's Day card, just an I love you for no reason card. So yeah, we always need a love card. So that's our first card for today. I'll put that to the side. Our second card is the other kind I find I need all the time, which is a birthday card. But I wanted to create something masculine. Now, I know it's not overly masculine. Like, you know, we don't have beers and barbecues and cars going on here. But it's also, you know, it's just, I guess, maybe gender neutral. So in your card pack, you would receive all the stuff you need to make 2 of everything. In the one that I have right here today, I have just enough to make this one card. There we go. All right. So there's all of our bits. And again, let's grab our bone folder. Put that one down. And there we go. And we're going to start with this piece of smoky slate. Now, it does go from the very top to the very bottom of this card, but not all the way to the sides. I wanted that nice little white trim. I don't know why. Oh, thank you. It's not very fancy DSP you're going to see. Quickest DSP you'll ever make, because we're going to take that cute little balloon stamp from our stamp set. Let's see, let me grab a block here for it. I'm going to take that cute little balloon and your smoky slate ink. And that's going to be bad. I'm going to end up putting my hand in it if I put it there. All right. And we're just going to ink this up. Now, my smoky slate. No, I didn't re-ink it. Okay. My smoky slate needs to be re-inked, and I haven't. So I'm just going to have to take a little bit of extra time to make sure I get enough ink on here. Okay. So I'm just stamping balloons at varying heights all around. Get the little tails on there too. And over there, I'll do a little one in the corner. And you just kind of are doing this however you would like to do it. There's really no rules for this, no rhyme or reason to it. Now, if you wanted to get the most, so you don't just end up with a whole bunch of tails, you could put your circle on here at this point so that you can really see where you'll get the maximum balloon visibility, and then take it away and fill in the blanks. And I know these ones were just seeing tails. It's okay. And do them like that. And down here. And a little corner. All right. Oh, one more corner. Why not? No, actually, I'm not going to. All right. So that is our DSP, as Martine put it. We're going to leave that be. And we're going to clean up our balloon image and do this all over again in Bermuda Bay. So let's clean this guy up. Now, when I do this one, I'm not going to stamp it solid color. I am also going to bring in my basic black journal marker. And so I'm going to ink this guy just like, I don't have to be super particular with this, but I'm going to try to just ink the balloon part. And then I got a little bit on the cord. That's fine because I'm using a basic black marker. I'll be able to cover that, no problem. And I'm just going to go over my my string on my balloon with my basic black marker and then stamp my image. Oh, come on. There we go. So now I have that cute little balloon, but the string is not Bermuda Bay. We're going to, you might want to clean this off. Like if you're worried about getting black in your ink, you might want to clean this off in between because we're actually going to stamp this balloon a few more times. We're going to use it on our envelope as well as inside our card. So here we go. I'm going to grab my envelope and I'm going to stamp this one on the front of my envelope. So again, I'm going to just do my best to get just my balloon, but not really crucial if I get more than it. And then there we go. Now, you could also just color your balloon with markers, but then I find you might not get as smooth of a look. Like you might see the marker lines in there. Oh, my focus just went way out. Let's see if I can get you guys back in focus. There we go. That's a bit better. All right. So there's our little balloon. You could even do 2 on the front if you wanted. I'm going to keep it as a single. And if you're not brave enough to stamp inside your card base that has no other kinds of protections on it, then don't, or put a layer in, like grab a piece of basic white cardstock that you can then glue in after you've done your stamping. I'm confident this is not a tricky stamp to stamp. I'm not worried about messing it up. So I actually am just going to go ahead and stamp right in there. Yeah, so that's our image for this one. And now we just need to do our sentiment. Now, our sentiment is going to be done on a banner, and this is from the Stylish Shapes dies. Hi, Cindy. So this is from our Stylish Shapes dies, and it's the largest banner that I use. So that is pre-cut for you. It's an easy one to stamp on, though. Unlike that itty-bitty banner, this one's very easy to stamp on. So I'm going to get my happy birthday and get a block to put them on. Now I am going to use my embossing additions kit. So my powder pal here to take any oils off of there, because I did have kids die cutting these and they touch the paper, and yeah, so take all the oils off of there. This is a piece of rich raspberry that I've die cut. I'm going to ink up my happy birthday and stand up to do this. There we go. Hopefully that's straight. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. All right. So I've got my happy birthday on there now. So I'm going to get my tray here with my white embossing powder. Oh, I believe last week I said I should refill this and I didn't. Oh well. Maybe for next week. All right. And a little bit more on the B. So I just run that through there. So like I said, I am a lazy stamper. I keep my white powder out in a tray, open. I wouldn't use it if I didn't. I'm super, super lazy. Now I am going to also grab, because I found them, yay. I'm going to grab my tweezers to hold this, and we're going to heat this up. right, there we go. So we have our sentiment embossed now with white embossing powder. And we are ready to grab another blending brush and our Bermuda Bay. I forgot that step. So in the background behind this banner, we have a really nice light layer of Bermuda Bay. So with my, there we go. Now, if you end up with like a little bit of a color dot in the center of this one, it's okay because it gets covered up by our banner. But you're just going to come in and do a really nice light Bermuda Bay circle, or as dark as you want, as light as you want. I'm trying not to go all the way out to the edges, partially because the stitching grabs the ink a bit differently and makes it dark, but also because I want that white edge. So I'm just going to double check that that's enough. Yep, perfect. So we've got some blue showing through, but it's not like in your face crazy blue. Okay. So now we're ready to put this card together. And just like the last one, we're talking a lot of liquid glue here. So take your beautiful smoky slate balloons and ink, or not ink this up. Oh my goodness. We're going to glue this one up. There we go. And this one goes top to bottom, but then you're looking to keep the same border on each side. There we go. All right. So top to bottom with a slight border on each side. And then our little balloon inside. Then we're going to take our white, basic white circle that we put the Bermuda Bay swirl on, and that gets glued. I'm gluing mine just a little bit higher than center. Okay. Now I have I didn't die cut my balloon. All right. I'm going to find my balloon that I stamped somewhere. And there it is. And I'm going to go ahead. Actually, let's put our sentiment on first. So I'm going to put my sentiment on here using dimensionals. And I am a little excessive with my dimensionals, so I'm going to use 3 on here. There we go. So just across our card like that. And I am just looking to make sure that it's kind of like centered. There we go. And I do have it on a slight angle. Now our balloon has a die. He's not that hard to fussy cut if you had to, but he does have a die, which makes it a lot easier. So we'll put that there, pop that in there, and grab our balloon die. Here we go. And you want to make sure you can see the string of your balloon in the little slit that's cut on the die. And then don't go knocking everything so it's unaligned. All right. There we go. So there's our little balloon. And we'll pop that one out. Put our die back. And here we go. So I left the tiniest little bit of glue on the end of this. I didn't wipe it off on the center because I'm going to wipe it off on my, there we go. Wipe it off on my balloon stem. There we go. And then I'm going to put a dimensional at the top of my balloon and attach this to my card. So there we go, just like that. All right, so now that is attached and we're not going to have a flyaway string. And the last thing that I'm going to do is use some iridescent pearls on here. Oh, Maltine, I showed you guys at the beginning. This is the Celebrate with Tags stamp set. And then the dies I'm using are the Celebration Tag dies. Now, Celebrate with Tags is going to carry over into next year's offerings, into our 2023 offerings, but these gorgeous dies that coordinate with it are not. They're on our last chance list, and they're actually going to be 40% off starting tomorrow. So you definitely want to wait till tomorrow to grab these if you're interested in this set. And then yeah, it's the Celebrate with Tags from our mini, but it will carry over into our 2023. So happy about that because it's such a nice stamp set. All right, and now I went crazy, you guys, with iridescent pearls on this one. I don't know, I couldn't stop myself. So pearls everywhere. There we go. And another. And so you can just, what I was kind of aiming for was this idea of like a scatter on a diagonal across our card front. So it was just like, just keep going. Now, if you wanted to stop with just 5 on here, you could totally do that. Oh, come on, pick up. You could totally do that. You could create like a nice little 5 across here, and it would still look like a cute little scatter, and you'd be totally good to go. But I couldn't do that. I don't know. And so I do try to create like triangles as I go though. So there's my scatter across my card front. So if you're looking at it, you got a triangle, and another triangle to create that scatter. And that is our second card, and we had our little stamped envelope to go with it as well. So super cute and great for all ages, all genders. Like it's just a great to have on hand kind of birthday card. Now our last card got a little artsy-fartsy on you, sorry. But I think it's such a cool technique. It is just so much fun. So again, you're going to get everything you need in your kit to make 2 of this card. But I've got my little packet here of 1. And it's almost Christmassy colors. Like you could almost switch up these sentiments and make this into a Christmas card if you're still in need of Christmas cards right now. I don't know what you'd do at the bottom, maybe snowflakes. But yeah, it's a super fun card. So I've got a smoky slate card base here. And did I do anything to my inside piece? I can't remember. Oh, I didn't even put an inside piece in my sample, so I guess I didn't. You do get 2 pieces of basic white, though, because there should be 1 inside your card. And so I'm actually going to show you this same technique twice for the insides of the cards. So let's start with the messy part, and then we'll come back and deal with the basic stamping later. So you're going to find that you have a little baggie here of candles. And these candles are not cut out of basic white cardstock. They're actually cut out of masking paper. And actually, I should pull this out and show you in case you're not aware of this product. Stampin' Up! Sells a package of 12 sheets of masking paper. And these are great when you're trying to do layers of things. But what I found you could do is also use it as like a stencil. So that's what I've done for this card. Now, I should actually bring my tag in because I actually did this a few times and then realized, oh, if I want to see the full candle, I have to make this lower. So having a piece of grid paper is also really nice because it helps you line things up. So I've put my basic white cardstock lined up on one of the lines on my grid paper. I'll pull out all these little candles. And I'm going to start with my center candle. So what you're going to do, it's not very hard at all, is you're going to peel the backing off of your candle. And now I'm going to kind of, actually center that. So I've got all my lines working for me. And I've got my tag where I want it. All right, so if I line up my candle centered on 2 lines down, that's going to give me the right height for my candle so it doesn't interfere with my tag. So now I can move that off to the side and I know how to line this up. And I'm just going to go through and alternate between striped and spotted candles. And I'm going to use that grid paper to help me line these up so that I get them all the same height. Now, if you want them different heights, go for it. Have fun with that too. That makes me a little bit squirrely and I can't do it though. So I am going to line all of mine up. All right. So these actually peel quite easily. And there we go, my last one right there. Now I got to do the other side. So let's see, I need another spotted one. There. And just like that. So yeah, grid paper is definitely something handy for when you're doing this kind of thing. And one more. So you're going to have an extra candle because when these die cut, you actually die cut 2 of each kind at a time. Here, I'll just show you guys the dies. So you get 2 striped and 2 polka dotted at one go. So when I just put them through, I need an odd number for my card, but I ended up with an even number of candles. So you have a bonus one in case something happens. All right. So now that those are attached to our cardstock, I am going to grab my blending brush again and my Bermuda Bay ink again. And I'm going to ink that up. I'm going to make sure that these are really attached to my paper. And then I am just going to come on in here and start applying color right over top of these candles. And I am going to go up, beyond the tops of the candles, about halfway on my, there we go. Let's just put that guy back on. There we go. So it's meant to stick, but not really, really strongly because it doesn't want, you don't want it tearing your paper when you're taking it off, right? So do watch that it's not moving and coming out of place as you go. You may have to push it down a few times and keep it in place. So then I'm going to come up a little bit beyond, come back in and make sure that that's nice and dark down at the bottom. Now I do recommend doing more layers and light layers than kind of pressing hard, because pressing hard will just move that masking paper. Okay. And just a light layer up to about 2/3. There we go. So we really have like a nice progression from dark to light on this piece of cardstock. Now I am going to do exactly the same thing again, but on my inside piece. Now, if you don't want to decorate your inside piece, that's totally fine too. I'm just one of those people who really likes everything to be decorated. So you can reuse these. They do lose their stickiness with time, so you can't reuse them like a ton of times, but you can reuse these. And so you can see there, that's left just a really beautiful little candle outline on our paper with the Bermuda Bay around it. And so it's just, I don't know, it's so pretty. There we go. that. So these just transfer over, and you can do this again. You could also do this on the front of your envelope if you wanted. You can probably get 3 uses like that out of these if you're not handling the sticky side too much. Okay, so with that on there we go. So I'm gonna come in. And this one I didn't even need to be so careful about keeping them low on the page, because this one's not going to have the tag at the top. There we go. And I'm not going to go quite as high with my blending brushes either, because this is the inside of our card where I'm going to write our sentiment. So with that one done, you could take these off and do them on your candle. Not on your candle, on your envelope. I'm going to put hearts on my envelope. All right, so I'm going to close up my ink for a moment. Now these little guys, if you wanted to reuse them again, just find like a piece of plastic or something that you could put these onto to save them. And don't stack them like I'm stacking them. And you could save these and reuse these again, so you wouldn't have to cut more of them. All right, so there we have our candles all done. Just really, really cool. So we're going to take, that's going to be our inside, so I'm going to put that off to the side now. We're going to take the piece that's going to be our front of our card, and I'm going to grab that happy birthday that I had before, and we're going to stamp it on our card, but we're doing this a little bit differently than we would normally. So I am going to ink this up and stamp my first happy so that it's at the top. And then I'm going to stamp my second one, so it's also at the top. Now, my next time that I'm going to stamp this, I am going to actually stamp it off and come in and do it just slightly off to the side and stamp it off and off to the side. Now I'm going to come in again, but I'm going to stamp it off twice before I stamp on here. 1, 2, third on the card. 1, 2, 3 before I go onto the card. 1, 2, 3. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could do another layer that kind of comes down onto your candles, but I didn't really want to. So you can see we just slowly fade our way out on the card front. Now we're not quite finished distressing this card. Our last thing that we're going to do is actually make a little mess. So I'm actually going to move my card sample out of the way, and I'm also going to bring back in that scrap paper that I had and use it to cover up some stuff on my desktop because this gets a little splattery. So we're going to take our Bermuda Bay ink, close it up, give it a good squeeze. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it's fun. This one's a little bit more detailed than I usually do for cards, a lot more like artistic-y things. So now, oh, that's my pen that I used in white, and it's not working so well for me. All right, where's my other one? That one has no water. Let's see. Okay, this one has water. So you're going to take your water painter, put just a single drop of water in there. You don't want a ton. And then you're going to splatter. I'm going to pick up some more color even. And you're going to splatter the front with this watercolor Bermuda Bay. So everything's tone on tone. Add as much or as little as you'd like when you're doing this splatter, like totally how you want it to look. And you can skip this entirely if you don't like this look at all. So there we go. I've just added a little bit of splatter and kind of distressed it some more. Now with that done, you don't want to close up your ink pad with water in your lid. So grab a tissue and clean that out so that there's no water in your lid. All right. And then you can also clean your water painters by giving them a good squeeze until they run clear. Or, grab a piece of watercolor paper and do a watercolor wash background to clean this off and then put it away. If you're one of those organized people, and then you have some watercolor washes pre-created for other projects. All right, so with that all splattered up, we're going to set it off to the side to dry for a moment. Now, if you wanted to get a little bit fun too, you can do that same technique with your Wink of Stella and add a little bit of glitter to this one. So same thing, just get a little drop of Wink of Stella at the end and then use the lid to tap the brush and it sprays glitter everywhere. I'm not going to go there today. All right, set that to the side. Now we can start working on the other bits to this card while that background dries. So we have our little tag die here. This is one of the dies from our celebration tag dies. So it's this little guy. He gets cut with his stitching, his outline, and the score line and the two little holes. Like it's all there. It's all done for you. So we're going to grab this little guy and our hearts again. So I got to clean those guys up because they have Blushing Bride ink on them. So clean them up. Now we're going to grab our Bermuda Bay ink and I'm going to stamp hearts onto the front of my tag twice. Once up at the top and once down in the bottom. Okay, I'm not worried about the center because we're going to put a circle tag over that. And I'm also going to grab my envelope and instead of doing my whole flap this time, I'm just going to do a little corner of hearts. Okay, so that's all we've got going on for that. Oh, actually, I need my Bermuda Bay ink still because we have a little not quite square. So you're going to notice this guy is not quite a square. He fits inside only in one direction. In the other direction, he'd go all the way out to the edges, which we don't want. So find your orientation that leaves a little border in there. And that's our orientation for stamping our to and from. So we grab our to and from our stamp set. And there we go. To and from right on the center of that tag. Okay, now we're done with our Bermuda Bay ink. So this little guy I'm going to glue into the tag right now so I don't forget to glue him in. Okay. So give a little border on 3 sides and make sure you don't cover up the hole at the top of your tag because we're going to be putting some ribbon through there. All right. So that is ready. And while we've got our glue out, let's also get this inside layer put into the card so that we don't get anything on here because we're about to pull out some red ink and I'm always nervous when I pull out red ink that I'm going to get it all over everything. I don't know why red scares me more than the other colors. All right. So we have that beautiful little candle inside to our card as well. So just nice interest on the inside of our card. Okay. So what we need to do is create the label for our tag. So you've got 2 pieces in here. You've got a circle. Now this circle is from this stamp set. So we have a nice stitch circle. It's nice because it stitches the inside cut that we have here, but it also leaves behind a stitched circle. So if you wanted to put a circle on a card front, it would have a stitched edging as well. So kind of nice. So we've got this guy. We're going to grab our Let's Celebrate You stamp set, or not stamp set, stamp image. So you can see I haven't used like the Merry Christmas and the glove and the Be Jolly from this, or the Made with Love, although you could totally stamp that on the inside of that first card. That'd be beautiful. So I've kind of avoided the Christmassy ones because I'm done with Christmas. All right, so this guy we're going to stamp in basic gray. You could stamp it in smoky slate as well if you wanted, if you didn't have both kinds of grays. So we're going to stamp that on our circle, and the Celebrate just fits from side to side. So we've got that stamped on there. But we are not going to just leave that as is. We're going to clean up our stamped image, and we're going to re-stamp it in Sweet Sorbet. So clean that up and re-stamp it in Sweet Sorbet. This time, though, when you're lining this up, you're just trying to get the Celebrate onto the paper strip. Doesn't matter about the other words. Okay, so we've got Celebrate there on our paper strip, and you have a choice at this moment in time. You can, pretty sure this guy fits, yeah. You can use this little die to cut him out, or as I did on here, I just used my paper snips and really trimmed around the edges. I'm going to use this little die because I can. And because I'm not really feeling like finding my paper snips right now, although I'm going to have to do the ribbon in a moment. All right, so let's pop this on here. Cute little tag. There we go. And voila, we have our little banner all cut out. And, you know, don't try to stamp Celebrate on this little banner. Definitely stamp first, cut second. All right, so with that done, we're going to attach this guy over top of the gray Celebrate. So we're getting rid of the gray Celebrate and just doing that. And again, I'm going to use edging from my large dimensionals. You could also use mini dimensionals though. So put that on there. There we go. So that's ready to go onto our card. Oh, thanks, Eva. Yeah, it's kind of a fun one. All right, so we're going to grab our little tag. I'm going to use liquid glue to attach this. I don't need more dimensionals than I've already got. I've already got some thickness to it. So actually, before I do that, I'm going to use my bone folder and try to close this up a bit more. There we go. It doesn't close up entirely, but that's okay. You want people to be curious and peek inside, not just think it's a flat tag on your card front. Okay, so let's Celebrate You. And that's going right on there. You can put this on straight or crooked, your choice. I'm going to put mine on straight because then I'm going to put my tag onto my card front crooked. So there we go. All right, with our liquid glue out, this base that we created should be dry now. So I'm going to use liquid glue on the back of this and attach this to my card front. Oops, come on. There we go. And put this onto the front. All right, now before we attach our tag to our card front, we have to add our little ribbon. So I've got 2 ribbon bits to go with this. So this is the beautiful real red ruffled ribbon. And so I'm just going to put it through both holes, front and back of our tag, and let it just sit. And then I'm going to take a piece of Sweet Sorbet Baker's Twine. This is from our 2022 to 2024 in color Baker's Twine pack. You get all 5 colors in one pack. And I'm going to tie, first of all, just a knot. And then once I've got that tied in a knot, I'm going to make my bunny ears and tie a bow on the front. So I've put in here more twine than we actually need because it's really hard to tie a bow if you don't have enough twine. We can trim it up later, but you need enough material to work with, especially when you're trying to wrap it around another ribbon. Okay, so now we've got that really nice bow tied there. Love it. And when you're happy with it, you're going to grab your scissors and you're going to trim up all the bits. We're trimming up our top ribbon because we actually want it quite short, but I needed you to have enough ribbon to have something to tie it around. And then you'll also trim up your Baker's Twine edges to however you like them. All right, but like I said, these top ones are going quite tiny. There we go. Because when I put this on here, I want my ribbon to actually stay on my card front. I don't want it flying all around. Okay, so now you have some choices on how to attach your tag to the front of, oh yeah, I know, some people like the long tails. I want it to stay on my card front is my thing. So you can attach your tag now with tear and tape, seal, or liquid glue, which is what I'm going to do. So again, I'm going to stay away from the stitching and my ribbon this time. And if you're giving this card away, like within minutes of making it, use tear and tape or seal, because this is going to have to sit for a moment to let the liquid glue dry. But I'm not giving mine away today, so we're all good. So yeah, you put that on a little bit crooked on your front, and then you've got your beautiful decorated envelope and your beautiful decorated inside of your card. And yeah, it's just a lovely celebration birthday card. And that is our 3rd card. So I'm going to bring back what we've created today. So we've got birthday card and another birthday card and a love card. And that is our class for today. Oh, thank you, Martine. Yeah, I had a lot of fun making that one. It's fun sometimes to kind of go out of your comfort zone and, well, no, I shouldn't say out of my comfort zone, but out of my norm and create something fun like that. So thank you so much for joining me this week for our Celebrate with Tags card class. And like I said, those dies are on sale starting tomorrow. You're going to want to grab them quick. A 40% off dies is a great deal. And if you use my host code, then you get this card class, the make and take kits to make 2 each of these 3 cards. So I hope you guys have a great day. If it's snowy where you are, be safe on the roads. And I'll see you all next week for my next card class to go. And also watch, if you're not part of my email list yet, definitely subscribe to my newsletter, because I'm going to be sending out something this afternoon about an in-person coffee and cards for anybody who's local to me. And I have another online event that I'm getting ready for, that kind of that weird time in December between Christmas and New Year's Eve. I'm going to do an online card class at that time. So watch for that email, and that'll come out this afternoon. So sign up for my newsletter if you haven't yet. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.